In, in.
Hey guys, sorry for the little delay. We had a little bit of technical difficulties logging in, but here we are. I'm here and I'm super excited because I'm hosting a series for One Management, my agency. Hi agents, I love all of y'all. And it's going to be about, today we're going to talk about love. We're going to talk about love in quarantine. We're going to talk about relationships. I have 3 awesome models from One coming on to chat with me. So I'm super excited. And Hannah is up first. She just sent me a request, so I'm going to let her in.
Hi, hopefully this
Hi,
works.
Hannah. How are
Hi,
you?
I'm good. Hopefully this is okay. I'm at the beach.
Yes, it's perfect. I can hear you perfectly. Everyone comments on here. Make sure that the quality is good. Make sure we can hear you. I can hear you perfectly, Hannah. So how are you? Where are you?
Like the size of my head right now. We are in New Jersey, which is my first time anywhere on the East Coast that hasn't been New York, which has been super fun. But it's so hot. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I'm in Georgia right now, where I'm from, and it is so hot here. So I feel your pain. Where are you
The
from
humidity
originally?
is crazy. I was raised in Los Angeles, born in Phoenix, so super West Coast all the way.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I moved to New York right when COVID hit, and
So that was
kind
in
of
March?
that was in March. Yeah, so 2 days. I was moving in with my boyfriend, and I got here, and 2 days later, lockdown happened. So going from long distance to 24/7, it was pretty nuts.
It must have been a tough adjustment. So how long were you
Yeah.
together before you moved to New York?
We were together a little over a year, so February was our 1 year.
And you were long distance the whole time?
Whole time. I lived with him for like 2 months last summer because we were like, okay, we need to, spend more than a long weekend together and
Okay, so
make
the
sure
good
we
news
like
is
each other.
you'd had a little taste of it. You knew
Yeah,
what it was like to.
I knew he wasn't crazy and he knew I was relatively normal, so it worked out.
Okay, good. So you moved in March. You move in together from long distance to living together. Just tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I have a dog, and he's not really a dog person, so there's a lot thrown into the mix
Oh
here.
no, who's not a dog person?
But now, he claims that she's his dog, so it kind of worked out. But,
Aww.
it's an adjustment to everything. It's an adjustment to even grocery shopping, like as silly as that sounds. Like, you have to learn what one person likes and doesn't like, and,
Do
working
y'all
from
have
home
different
has been
eating habits?
interesting. Yeah, like he decided to be vegetarian during COVID, and I decided to stop being vegetarian during COVID.
Oh
So
no.
it's a lot of double duty cooking for dinners here.
Oh no.
But
So you were vegetarian before?
yeah, I was actually vegan a couple years ago, and then I hated it, and started eating meat again, and now I usually will cook like chicken or turkey or stuff a couple times a week, but he just loves mostly pasta and chicken fingers.
Okay, so you can kind of have a little bit of crossover there with the chicken, right?
Oh yeah, a little bit, yeah. Every now and then it works out.
And then you've been working from home. By the way, what's your boyfriend's name?
David.
David. Has he been working from home too?
Yeah, so that kind of adds in another element where your work time, usually you have that time away from someone to really miss them and like get excited to come home to them. And when you're together all the time, like it definitely creates some tension, of course.
Totally.
When you're on business calls or when you're coming in and out or taking the dog for a walk or like trying to fit in time together while being together 24/7, it's a weird balance.
Yeah, I was reading, or maybe I was listening to a podcast that said that, spending a quality time with your significant other, like going on a date with them or doing something that's special, is very different from nonstop 24/7 time in the home together. That's not quality time. How do you feel like that? Like, do you miss going on dates? Like, how is that kind of tandem?
I'm like such a romantic person. I'm so lame, honestly.
No, that's not lame. That's so cute.
But I planned like a little date recently, where good old Amazon helped me out, and I ordered like some fake roses and like little like battery candles and made like a really nice dinner and like white tablecloth. And like we made a playlist, and it was super romantic, and it felt different because it wasn't like our routine of just like eating something and watching Netflix.
So
Um,
you did do a little date night.
yeah, and I think it's really important. Like, I think it kind of helps reset the tone a bit.
Totally, I agree, totally. So is
Yeah.
there anything that y'all have learned about each other that you may not have known about each other before quarantine?
You know what's funny is I feel like because of long distance, we got to know each other so well. You
Because you're
talk
talking on
about,
the phone. Yeah,
yeah, like you're forced to get to know each other and like kind of cover all those bases before you're together all the time. So I feel like if anything, as crazy as it sounds, like COVID has made us stronger than ever and really made our relationship even 10 times better than it was, just because you get to actually have that quality time together. I
wow,
haven't learned anything new, really. I don't know. I feel like you learn like new little things every day, but I know who he
totally.
is. I like him.
What do you have any like? Do y'all have any known like nothing? Don't say anything that you don't already know. But do y'all have any like pet peeves of each other that you laugh about with each other, or not really?
Okay, it might be like outing myself here. He hates my toenails. I don't know why. They're short. I don't have weird
Oh
toes. He
no!
hates them. It's so
Do you
random.
get it? I mean, do you get it? Do you paint them? Do you
Literally,
get a
look at
pedicure
how.
every once in a
Can I
while?
flip them here? They're beautiful, right?
Yeah, let's see your toes. I think your toes look
For all the
amazing.
foot
I think
people
they look
out there.
tan, beautiful. They look better than mine.
Um,
I'll show you mine too. I think yours are better than
no,
mine.
yours are great. You see, we're ladies. We keep them looking good.
So
Um,
yeah. And
oh,
what
he's
about
on
you? Do
there.
you
They're
have any pet
sharp,
peeves or?
sharp as fuck. Pet peeves. I hate filling up the Brita, the water filter.
Oh my
It's
God,
not something I
yes.
like to
I
do.
hate that too.
And
My
then
roommate and I have a Berkey water filter too.
yeah, it
It gets
sucks,
old.
right? Yeah, it's the worst. And we've put it through the dishwasher a couple times, so like the lid doesn't fit in properly, and it's really
Oh
annoying.
no. Maybe that's a good birthday
Um,
present for one of you.
right? His birthday's actually coming up, which like if anyone has suggestions, how do you plan a birthday in quarantine?
I know my
You know?
dad's birthday is actually today, so we're just
Oh,
doing, just cook a night his favorite meal at the house, and we're gonna cook a little
yeah,
dessert for him. But there's not
yeah.
much you can do during quarantine.
I know. I'm like, I want to make it special, but like, it's not like you can ask his friends to come into town because no one wants to travel right now.
No,
We
no one's
don't really
coming.
eat out, even though things are open. Like, we've been cooking and staying home. So, I don't know. It
How
might
is
be
it in New
another
York
Amazon.
City? Have you been in the
Um,
city for most of quarantine?
we didn't leave. And so it went from like complete ghost town the first month, like no one there at all. It felt like very eerie. To now, of course, it being more open and summery, and it's kind of the best how restaurants took over parking spots, like in the streets, because you feel like you're in
Yes.
Europe, and it's like there's something super romantic about it. But we don't eat out. Like we got pizza once since this whole thing started.
You cook a
But
lot.
I cook a lot, yeah, and I enjoy it, and it's fun. Like it's fun to try new recipes, and it kind of breaks up your day in a nice way.
Yeah, what recipes have you tried? Do you have any new favorite recipes that you've tried?
The John and Vinny's spicy fusilli from Bon Appetit. It's so easy and it's so good, and it's like it's a
Yeah.
dish that will impress people, but like it's really easy to make.
How do you just briefly describe how you make it in case anyone's looking for a new recipe?
Okay, so you always salt your pasta water, like with a lot of salt. It's my
Okay.
favorite. So boil your pasta. You can do rigatoni, whatever you like, really. We do rigatoni because we like it better than fusilli. And
Yum.
then you really like you buy a can of tomato paste. You saute it with some garlic and onions, and then what else do you add in vodka, of course. Stir it so there's no alcohol in it, and then
Man,
Parmesan and butter.
your man loves it too.
Is he on here still? It's so bright here, so I like can't really see any comments.
Oh, no worries. Okay, so if you had any advice to give couples who might be struggling during being in quarantine together, pandemic, what do you have any words of advice?
Um, I mean, my favorite relationship advice in quarantine or not is just choose your battles wisely. Like it's kind of the saying that's like, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? And it's like if it's not the end of the world, then don't fight about it. Like
So
just be
it's hard to
kind and
know.
loving and
Yeah, like when do you stand up for yourself? When do you let go? Like like you said, you have to choose your battles. What?
Yeah, and if you go to sleep about something and you wake up the next day and it's still bothering you, then have a conversation about it. But like, I don't know, I think it's very important to just try and see things from someone else's point of view, because you want to get along with who you're dating. You know, you don't want to
Totally.
fight. It's not fun to fight,
You
and
don't.
you don't have
No,
to.
you don't want to fight.
You can have arguments that are loving and kind, and it's a good partner to be able to do that.
How did you and David meet?
Through good old Instagram. I slid into his DMs, people.
Yay! Oh my god! So you just slid in and you were like, "Hi, I think you're cute.
Yeah, well,
I would love to meet up."
my boyfriend has a clothing line. It's called 20. Just a little plug.
Oh,
in
cool.
there.
Oh, I've seen it. It's really cool, like tees and
yeah,
sweats,
and
right?
like sweat outfits. But I thought they were really cool, so I actually slid into the brand's DM, and then he was the one responding and told me it was his brand. So then we started talking, and 2 weeks later, I flew out to New York to meet him, and I liked him right away.
The rest is history.
The
Now,
rest
do
is
you model for his line at all, or is that a conflict of interest?
I do. We do like fun, creative things. I did one like lookbook shoot for him, but you know, everyone wants diversity right now and different looking models, so it's fun for us to do stuff together. But he is super great about including all ethnicities and all different types of people. So
That is
redheads
so
every
good.
now
So
and then.
cool. Well, I'll have to check them out. That's really cool. And
Yeah.
one other question about modeling in general is like, do you feel like it started to pick up a little bit for you, or do you feel like it's still really slow? Like, how's work been for you recently?
You know, so I'm an actress, and I'm right before COVID hit, I booked a job that was actually supposed to be shooting in March, but given the state of the world, it got postponed. So I just recently found out that production will hopefully be resuming in the next few weeks on that. And then
That
modeling
is
has
so
been like,
exciting.
yeah, I'm super excited. I would say more about it, but I don't know if I
Yeah.
can yet.
Okay.
But modeling in the beginning, though, there was a lot of like at home shoots, right? Didn't you find that?
Yeah, people wanted us to shoot content at home. They would send us stuff for us to shoot. Yes. Which
Yeah,
is different, but also
yeah,
nice in a way too.
yeah. It's fun. It's like challenging in a different way that kind of forces you to be more creative, which is good.
Yeah, totally.
But
And then
it's
I'm
been
sure
like
with
up and
David,
down.
he could shoot you. Was David
Yeah,
able to help you
exactly.
with some of that?
Yeah, he was good. I think I was a little bit bossy with the whole thing, but
Well, hey, it's your job. You can be bossy there. He can be bossy with his business, and that's perfect.
exactly. How about you? How's work been for you?
You know, during the last like 3 or 4 months, it was basically non-existent, and then I would say the past 2-3 weeks, it started to pick up a little bit. Last week, I had 3 shoots, so that was good. I'm anxious to get back to work. I love working, so.
And you're in LA, right? Full time?
I live in LA, but I spent a ton of time in New York last year. But I live in LA with my best friend who's also a model.
Okay. How's
So we were
that?
kind of
Has it been fun
quarantined
spending
together.
time together?
Yeah, she's the best. Her name is Kristen. We had a fun time. We tried a lot of new recipes and
Yeah.
we had a good time in quarantine.
Yeah.
And now I'm in Georgia with my family, so it's good to be
Yeah.
here for my dad's birthday. Good to see them. You know.
How weird was it traveling? How was the airport and stuff?
It wasn't as bad as you would think. I mean, I already had COVID. I'm pretty sure my ex had it at the time, and I took care of him. And I never got tested, but I think I probably was exposed to it or had it. So I wasn't too nervous about traveling.
Oh, is
because
this your roommate here, Kristen? We've had so much fun.
No, I'm at home in Georgia, so that was a family member.
Oh yeah.
Who just came out to say hi.
On the chat here. Hi, Kristen.
Oh, is Kristen on here?
I think so,
We need
yeah.
to read some of the comments. Does anyone have any questions for Hannah? Does anyone have any questions for Hannah?
Like why I look so crazy at the beach? That's sunscreen.
You do not look crazy. You look amazing.
Oh man.
You should be social distancing. We are
We are
social distanced. I am. I'm pretty sure you are too, right?
Yeah, we're being super careful. Obviously at the beach, it's kind of nice because you can like plant your towels and your chairs 6 feet away from people, and there's fresh air circulating, so that's kind of great. But we're wearing masks when we go into any stores, and we're not eating at restaurants, and we're being very careful.
I think that's a safe place to be. Rachel Mortensen said, ask Hannah how it is going Corona with a boyfriend who's OCD and germophobic. Is that true?
You know, you gotta, my boyfriend's pretty germophobic, but you gotta learn to love all the parts of people, you know?
Well, that
Everyone
germophobic
has
is
their
actually a
quirks.
good thing because he's
Yeah,
probably
but
being
he
very
was like,
careful.
yeah, but he's like times a million now. Like he was this way before, and now it's like heightened it. So his best friend is Windex. It is what it is.
Okay. So, you know, sanitizer, washing hands. Hopefully he's doing
Yeah. Any other ones? Do you miss your friends in LA? I really do miss my friends in LA. I hope I can see you guys soon.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. You went out for a second.
You haven't been back to LA since you left LA?
No, and it's kind of sad. I have a 3-year-old niece and a nephew who's almost one. And I was going from seeing them 5 times a week to now I haven't seen them since I think February, which sucks. So,
Oh
you know,
no.
this whole thing, like that's the really hard part about all of this is just not being able to see your friends and family, which I'm
That's
sure
the
everyone
toughest
is
thing.
feeling.
Totally. That's the
Yeah,
toughest thing. That's why I was happy that my family was okay with me coming to see them. But
yeah,
I mean, I've stayed kind of far away, so
yeah.
okay, so I'm looking at here. I want to let you get back to your beach day. I'm supposed to have Maxey come on soon. I'm
Okay.
looking to see
This
if I
is
have a
so fun.
request
I
from
love that
her.
you're doing this.
I'm excited. Like Ben, Ben, our agent, he wanted us to chat about. I mean, what is more interesting than how relationships have fared during quarantine? I'm sure people have had some crazy experiences. So
Totally.
I think it's
Totally. Well,
really.
I'm happy to share a positive one because I know it's gotten kind
I'm
of crazy.
Yeah, I'm so happy for you that it's been positive, and like you said, you came out through on the other side, being stronger, knowing each other better. It's amazing.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Okay, I'll let you
I'm
go
so happy.
and get everyone else on here. Thank you for
Thank
having
you
me.
so much for coming on, and I will message you after this so we can catch up.
Okay. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Nice to meet you.
Bye.
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 Okay, Miss Maxey, where are you? Okay, she requested. Let's see, Maxey's coming on. I'm waiting for her. Maxey, is that how you say your name?
Hi!
Maxey?
Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of quiet though.
Is it quiet? Okay. Can you hear me better?
Just talk really loud. Just
Okay.
kidding.
I'll talk really loud. Is Maxey how you say your name?
Yes, you're right. Like
Okay, good.
taxi.
Good, good, perfect. Okay, so you're in New York right now.
Yes, upstate.
And how is it? How's the weather? How's it going?
It is really nice and sunny. It's like probably I think the hottest day of the year, right? Today? I don't know. You're not here, right? You're in Georgia.
I'm in Georgia. I'll show you a little bit of nature.
I was just gonna say your house is stunning. Those ceilings.
Oh, thank you. This is my parents' house. So I'm home visiting my family right now.
Good job, parents.
And it's really nice. It's really nice to be in Georgia. It's really nice to see my family. I'm really excited. I'm really lucky that I get to see them because most people are staying away from their families because they're nervous.
Yeah.
But I think I already had coronavirus, so I think I'm.
Oh shit.
Even though
Are
they
you
don't know how
okay?
long the antibodies last.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was fine. I didn't have any symptoms except for I was very tired.
Good.
I was
Well, it's good to
exhausted.
hear. I'm glad
Or
it's
how
not.
are you? Have you been okay?
I'm good. Yeah. I've had a very eventful quarantine. I moved upstate recently. We bought our first home. And I was
Yeah,
living in
tell me about
Brooklyn.
that.
Yeah. I was living in Brooklyn for years. And we bought about like an hour and a half outside of the city.
Okay.
And I am like, I'm so happy. I guess I didn't like fully realize the amount of anxiety New York gave me.
Yeah, it can be tough. I think you need breaks. I think most people realize like you need to take a little break, get some nature in every once in a while.
Definitely.
So it's you and your husband, correct? How long have y'all been together?
Fiance.
Fiance. Okay. When did you get engaged?
2 months ago.
Oh my God, congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, let's see your ring. Can we see it a little bit?
Yeah, but I like
Beautiful.
actually stacked it with a bunch. So everyone's like, are you pretending to be married? And I'm like, maybe.
No, I love that. So how did he propose? Did he propose? Did you propose?
He proposed. I would have if he hadn't, because I had been asking him for like so long to propose to me on my 30th birthday.
Okay.
And if he didn't do it, I would have probably just like been like, are you kidding me? I'm doing this. But
Get
no, he
down on
didn't.
one knee. So tell us, if you don't mind, share with us.
No, I don't mind. So at the time we were in an Airbnb in the Catskills. Our apartment in Brooklyn is like the size of a closet, and we were like, we cannot quarantine here. So we rented an Airbnb like the second everything happened to get away. And we were there. And at this point, since we were out of the city, I kind of just like put it out in my head. I was like, our entire world just changed. If he doesn't propose, it's like not the end of the deal. We're literally in a world crisis.
Right.
So I'll give him some slack.
Okay, that's nice.
But on my birthday, I woke up in the morning and he woke me up and he's like, can you come into the kitchen? I have a present for you. And I'm like, what could he have possibly bought me? Like, I didn't want anything. Like all I wanted was a ring. So I was like, what did he get me? And I'm not a good gift like receiver. I need to like something. I can't fake it.
I'm the same. I'm not a good gift receiver or giver. It's not my love language.
Me neither. I'm a terrible giver too.
Okay, me too.
So
I understand.
I was like, oh great, like this is gonna be awkward. And I go into the kitchen and there's just a laptop sitting there. And I was like, what? So he's like, I want you to watch this video I just made for you. And I'm like, okay. And like, mind you, I just woke up. I'm like pajamas, my hair is gross, didn't brush my teeth, like a mess, in my glasses. He's like in his robe. And I sit down and I start watching the video, and it's like a music video that he made.
Oh my gosh, that is so cute.
So he's a photographer and like really into cameras and equipment. So he had like all this stuff, and he has this cool drone, and he like made this funny video, and he's like lip syncing to a song. And I thought it was going to be like one of those videos that a lot of people have been doing over quarantine, like where your friends like come on and say happy birthday. So I was like waiting for my friends to appear, and I'm laughing because he's so funny and ridiculous. And then as like the video keeps going, it's like a minute and like none of my friends are there. I'm like, okay. So I start like listening to the words, and it's just like, it's like an old country song that I'd never heard. And the words were like, I'm going to make you my wife. And I like clicked, and I was like, oh God, oh God.
Oh my God.
Start crying immediately. It's like about 3 minutes of him lip syncing and like in all these different locations. And I'm like hysterical, wearing my glasses, so I'm totally fogged up.
Oh.
And I look to my left, and he's kneeling like one knee, also crying.
Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
I could not tell you for the life of me what he said in that moment. Like, I don't remember anything, but he made like a speech and asked if I would marry him.
Oh my God.
And I said no, just kidding.
But you kept going. Oh my God, that is the sweetest story. I'm gonna cry for you. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
So
It was really cute.
Obviously, your quarantine has gone really well with your partner.
It's been wild. I mean, it's obviously challenging. Like, if anyone says it's not a challenge to be trapped in a home with somebody, they're lying.
Totally. It's a challenge for everyone. I want to know about those challenges. I also want to know, I saw on your Instagram that you are recently pregnant.
Yes, I came out as pregnant.
Oh, she came out.
Thank you. You know, we were like,
so
why not? Let's just knock him out.
Why not? Why not?
We're not doing anything else. And I don't know about you, but this is like the first time I haven't worked in forever. And I'm like, let's just friggin' go.
Same. I mean, it's interesting for me. It sounds like you too. This is the first time I haven't worked, and I've had a lot of free time. You really have to figure out what to do with that time. Because you don't want to just sit around all day and get anxious and worked up. And what am I doing? You know.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Hi.
That was my sister, Sarah.
Hi, sister.
Guest starring, guest appearing. Okay. So when
Yeah,
did you
I
find
was
out?
gonna say like the slowdown made me realize like what was important and what was like truly bringing me happiness. And yeah, I feel like I've talked about this with a lot of models. It's the first time we kind of like paused and had a time to reflect on our careers and what we're doing. And when we're in the midst of it, you know, it's so go, go, go. So yeah, we just kind of we wanted to get moving on life. And so we got engaged, we bought a house, and now we're having a baby.
So it's almost like in quarantine, all of these major life steps have happened for you and your
Yeah.
fiance. That is so
Yeah.
cool. So has it been overwhelming? Do you feel super happy? Like how
Yeah.
are you feeling?
It's incredibly overwhelming. I mean, of course, happy. A lot of really wonderful things are happening, but at the same time, it's hard to experience good things when life in general is not so great, you know?
Totally. It's like you don't want to be so happy when the world is
Exactly.
struggling so much. I totally understand.
100%.
So,
And
so
it's like
your fiance,
you can't really celebrate, and I don't know, it's kind of weird, but at the same time I feel very happy. It's just weird. It's weird.
I know. Well, you should feel happy because you have amazing stuff happening. So do you
Thank you.
have any like struggles to share with us? Like, is there anything you've learned about your partner that you didn't know that is a pet peeve? Like, do you have any, what have been your struggles? You don't have, don't share anything you don't feel comfortable
No,
sharing.
I have some, I think. So from going to an apartment where we never cooked, ordered in all the time, and also didn't have like a dishwasher or anything. So we didn't want to cook or do anything. Now having a home with a dishwasher and a laundry machine. So first of all, like living luxury. Can we talk about that?
Yes.
To have a freaking dishwasher, it's like, fine, I guess I'm so rich now.
I know, dishwashers, everything. I've lived in apartments that don't have them, and now I live in one that does, and it's amazing.
You can't go back.
You can't go back.
Like,
no.
It's like getting a king size bed. You cannot go back.
1,000%. I agree. So do you struggle with who's going to do the dishes and who's going to do the laundry?
Yeah, so it's a struggle. And I admit with dishes, I go through like phases where I wake up in the morning and I'm like, I work out, I like have my whole routine, and I go to the kitchen and I clean and I'm like amazing. And then I'll fall out of it for a week and suck. So he gets like kind of used to that like very productive routine. And I'm like, shit, now I have to always be like that.
No, I think one of the things of quarantine is the ups and the downs. We all have had that. We all have weeks where we're super productive. Then we have down weeks. Like, I think it's like that for everyone. So yeah. I wouldn't worry about that.
The biggest pet peeve though, and it's like literally driving me crazy, he does so much laundry. I don't know if this is a guy thing, but it's like he'll wear something for 2 minutes and it's like filthy. I'm like, I don't understand. Like it's okay.
I think that's a guy thing. I think
it is, right?
Yes.
Like I'll rewear things.
I rewear everything unless I worked out and sweated in it, or
same.
Yeah, unless it got a stain on it and I need to wash it. I will rewear it so many times. I mean, I guess like if you're getting bad BO and it's really stinking, you feel like you need to wash it.
He doesn't really like smell that much. I just feel like it's like, I don't know. It's a
boy thing.
It's really annoying. But so he does so much laundry, right? And he's been doing it. At first, I think he expected me to do it because we were like still figuring out our jobs.
Right.
And I'm like, listen, if you're going to do this much laundry, you can't expect me to help you. Exactly. So now he does the laundry. He does his laundry. And then instead of folding it, and sometimes like I'll throw a thing or two into like the bin and he'll just throw it all in together. Instead of folding it when it's out of the dryer, he just like puts it back into the basket and then just like waits for me to fold it.
No.
And then it all gets so wrinkled.
No, why?
And it is like the most, I feel like he can hear me screaming about this right now. And it is literally the most annoying thing. Like everything we have is just covered in wrinkles all the time.
Well, and it sounds like y'all are struggling with the little things, but in terms of the big things, you're all on the same page. So I'm happy for you. I'm happy about that. If you had it sounds like, you're a beautiful couple, like you just got engaged, you have your whole life ahead, you're pregnant. What would be your advice for couples who may be struggling? Do you have any advice?
Well, so I'm gonna like totally out them right now, but a lot of my best friends are really struggling.
Yes.
And not to say that we're not. We are definitely struggling, but it's different. But honestly, the people I know who are having the hardest time right now are in the city and are in apartments. And I don't know if you feel like that with your friends too, but it's really hard when you're cooped up in a really tiny space and you're not able to just go outside and go into a backyard.
Totally.
And you're both working from home. It's really challenging.
Totally. I don't know how people are dealing with that. I can't imagine. I mean, I think one of the most important things in a relationship is space. Like normally you'd be going to work, you'd be leaving every day, you'd be missing each other. Then you'd come home and reunite and feel the spark of love, so I haven't been quarantined. I've been, here with my family, and then I was with my best friend in LA. So she was with her. So we were kind of separated a lot. I don't know. So your advice would be try to take space when you go for a walk or
100%. I mean, that's the thing I always talk about with my friends. It's hard to like have your own space inside when you're in a 1-bedroom apartment or even a studio. So, I mean, the best thing is to be constantly communicating and saying and being okay with needing alone time. I mean, even in the house, we need our space or we will kill each other. Totally. So my friends have been going for walks on their own, or even I think a big thing, and this is kind of relationships in general, you don't have to have every meal together. You don't have to have breakfast together. You don't have to cook dinner for each other every single night. You are allowed to be your own person. And I think right now you have to be your own person or you're really going to struggle.
I love that. I think that is really smart advice. Because I think I was saying before, with Hannah, that couples are forced to spend every single moment together, whereas before you might plan a special date, a special quality time together. And like you said, now when you're forced to be with someone, it's almost tough. You need that space. So I think that's really good advice, to be okay with taking a dinner by yourself or cooking your own meal, or I think that's really good advice for couples who might be struggling.
Thanks.
I am so happy to meet you. I hope that our paths will cross in New York when life resumes. I'm so excited for you about your baby and your engagement. And your home. You have so much going on. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to come on and chat with me.
Of course. It was so nice to meet you.
I appreciate it. Okay, so I think André is probably waiting to come on.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you so much for taking the time, and we'll talk soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Okay. So now we have our final guest. His name is André, and I'm waiting for him. Let's see if he has sent me a request. Oh, I can send a request to him. Okay. Sending a request to André. He'll answer me. To Maxey. Oh, hi, André.
Hey, that was quick.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Thank you so much for joining me.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
So how's it going? How's your day?
My day's great. It's great.
Good.
It's out, sunny. It was humid.
It is humid here too. I'm outside. I'm on my parents' screen porch, and it's humid.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
So you're in Tennessee?
Yes.
Nashville?
Yeah, I'm in Nashville.
Cool. So have you been there for all of quarantine?
Yes. I have, for the most part. I traveled. Went to New York once for work, North Carolina for work. So that's been cool. But for the most part, I've been here.
So has work picked up a little bit for you?
It's picked up. It's coming small waves. I've been able to hit some clients that were in driving distance. But for the most part, when everything first hit, obviously everything was at a standstill. But things are definitely picked up for me, just because a lot of clients are shooting outside of New York right now. So I've been able to tap into that a little bit. That's
good. So I know that you have twins, a boy and a girl, and a beautiful wife. What are their names, if you don't mind sharing?
My son is Legend Isaiah, and my daughter is Eliana Winter.
Beautiful names.
Thanks.
So Legend is his first name?
Yeah.
And what did you say your daughter's name is?
Eliana.
Eliana. Those are beautiful names.
Hey.
How has it been being quarantined with your kids? Have you found it tougher to entertain or teach, or how's it been?
No, I mean it's been cool. I mean, they're three, so they weren't in school or anything like that. And luckily we have like 2.5 acres, so we wasn't just like stuck in the house. We can let them out, and
Perfect.
about being close to neighbors and whatnot. So it's been cool just diving into them, learning more about them, watching them become little people.
I'm sure that's been awesome. Have you had more time together than you would normally have?
Uh, Kind of. I mean, but at the same time, I was like diving into DIY projects. With the modeling, when you start something that takes your focus away from it, it's like Murphy's Law. The phone rings, you got to pick up and go. So
Totally.
if you're not having that to worry about, I really just dive into that type of stuff, projects. So for most of the part, for most of the day, I was like fixing stuff, like just in that, and then I'll spend the second half of my day just like hanging out with my kids.
What kind of DIY projects have you been doing?
Oh, I've knocked out 2 bathrooms, a laundry room.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been
Wow.
a lot. It's been a crazy learning experience.
So you must be pretty handy with that kind of stuff.
I think I'm naturally handy, but it's a lot of watching YouTube or calling my dad, like, hey, I'm at a standstill. What do I do next? But I'm a hands-on guy, so and it works out. You
How
know,
cool.
DIYs, they're fun. They're always like fun in theory. You hate it while you're doing it, and then you love it when you just have that finished product.
So have you finished your bathrooms, or are
Yeah.
they still work in progress?
No, I've knocked out bathrooms. I've finished everything now. Yeah.
Cool. Do you have pictures of that on your Instagram that people can see, or?
I have the bathroom project is that's on my Instagram on
Okay,
the
cool.
stories. I haven't put it out at the laundry room. I don't know if I said that, but I haven't put the bathrooms on yet. But I was planning on editing the footage and putting it all together, the before and after. But it came
How
out. Oh,
cool.
yeah,
That is so exciting. So how long have you and your wife been together?
8 years. Well, been together, uh, maybe like 11 years.
Oh, wow. And so married 8 years.
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
her name?
Jaden,
Jaden?
Jaden. Yeah.
So how did you two meet?
Oh, well, at the time I was moving to New York. I was in town for Fashion Week, and she was a pop artist with Universal Motown. So she was in town for the VMAs and was at a D Square eyewear release party. And, I was hanging out with my agent, and he pointed her out. And I'm like, man, that is a beautiful lady right there. Let me, go do what I do. And next thing you know, we hit it off.
Oh, so it's history from the moment you met.
Yeah, it was history from that point.
Cool. So I want to talk about how it's been for you two in quarantine. Has it been fun? Have you faced challenges? How has it been?
It's been fun. We've had our challenges, but it's been fun just in the sense that I think all this has brought us a lot closer. Um, I think when you strip away all the distractions, I don't have basketball to watch, and
Totally.
just can't do anything. So when you're stuck, we spent that time just growing closer together, just our bond getting closer, and then you have all the the racial tension and all that stuff going on. That brought a different layer as well for us. That was it was interesting and very just learning and educational for both of us.
Yeah, so how has that affected your family at Black Lives Matter? Like you said, the racial tension, has that been, tough in your family? Are you learning? How are you dealing with it? How are you doing?
Well, first, let me just say justice for Breonna Taylor, Rashard Brooks,
Yes.
Ahmaud. There's been some arrests made, but it's still not over. We still got a lot.
We're still waiting for justice.
We're still waiting. So no, I wouldn't say that my family has been tension, having a mixed blended family, but it definitely gave us the opportunity to have some tough conversations that we might not have had before. Just getting perspective, giving them a perspective that they can understand everything a little bit better.
Totally.
We getting their perspective on things, how they see stuff, because the media will do a great job of altering people's perceptions and views. So being right in the thick of it, where we have to have these type of conversations, it forces us all to grow.
Totally. I mean, and your kids are so young that they probably can't wrap their minds around this kind of, because kids are just born with just love in their heart. They probably have no idea what racial hate is or discrimination.
Right.
But at some point, I guess you probably have to have these conversations with them as they get older, huh? And that must be really tough.
Yeah, it is, and it's funny, just other conversations we've had with groups in the house, and we're talking, and I hear, one of my kids like, yo, what is race, and what's this and what that? I'm like, man, they're getting to that point, like they're understanding, they're picking up. So it's like it just opened my eyes a little bit more on obviously watching what you say around your kids, but these are going to be some tough conversations I'll have to have with my kids, and they may have identity issues, I don't know, different kids go through different things, but it just it's prepping me for those type of conversations with them.
Well, it sounds like you're prepared, and I'm sure that you'll do a great job of having those tough conversations. Have you gone to any of the protests or anything like that, or have you kind of stayed away because of COVID? And
I stayed away. I really wanted to. I did some protests when I was in New York a while, like years ago. But this time around, I couldn't take any chances. With all the crazy stuff happening, I didn't want to bring anything back to my family, and then you have the random acts of violence happening. So I had too much to lose at the moment. So I'm like, I'll do my.
Yeah, you don't want to risk it. I didn't have much to risk, so I ended up going to one in LA. But I understand, like, I would, if I were going to be exposed to people that I didn't want to bring COVID to, or I would have been, and I wore a mask and all that. But it was really powerful to go, especially in LA. It was really cool to see and to be a part of that. But
it's so powerful. Energy is crazy, but also I think you have to, it starts within. You have to have those conversations with those people around you.
Totally.
And get each other's perspectives, and hold each other accountable. And
totally.
then there they have the other conversations with other people. It just kind of trickles out.
Yeah, I think I don't think you have to go. Like you said, it starts with the people around you. I don't think you have to go to protests. I think you can really just start with your friends and family, and have these tough conversations. And at least, I think at the very least, that this Black Lives Matter has got people really thinking in ways that maybe they weren't even aware of before. At least, like, they're now aware of things in a different way. So at least it's a start. So more back to your relationship, have you had any like struggles? Have you had any tough time, or has it been mostly smooth? I mean, you've been together for so long, so has it been mostly
for a while? So I wouldn't say the quarantine brought on struggles. I mean, I guess obviously you have the fears of his work done forever. You have those type of things where which also brought us closer. It's like, let's simplify our lives.
Right.
Rid of all the extra that we don't need, and figuring that stuff out. But like I said, being married 8 years, year 2 and 3 was our tough years. We made it out of that, and it's been great. I mean, it's not always perfect, but we could make a conscious decision to always stay in love and work things out.
Right.
And I think that's where it starts, with that compromise and understanding that you have to lower your expectations. If you put people on this pedestal and you're expecting too much from your significant others, you're setting yourself up for a letdown.
Totally. You can't expect too much from one person ever, whether it's a best friend, a family member, your significant other. You have to get things from different people. One comment from one of my friends, Kristen, she commented, how do you guys continue to keep things fresh? That's a good question.
How do we keep things fresh? That's interesting. Well, it's hard to keep things. I don't know. When you have kids and it takes up so much of your time, it can be hard to break out of that world. You have to be intentional about, obviously trying to have a date night. For us, we enjoy just getting out and going to the store.
Yeah, me too.
That's refreshing to us. But no, it's cool. I mean, just like when you're watching your kids grow and do different things, it's magical. And I think you have those moments, you see it, and then we see each other, and it's just like, man, we created that. And that I don't know, I can't explain it, but it's just something magical there that just makes you love your spouse that much more.
That is beautiful. Yeah, I don't have kids yet, so I don't know that feeling, but I understand, and I think that's really, really true. I'm sure it's amazing. I'm sure it's just a beautiful thing between you and your wife to see your beautiful babies. They're so cute, by the way. I was just looking at your Instagram before this, and I'm like, they're the cutest kids ever. Are you going to let them model one day, or would you keep them away from that?
I wouldn't necessarily keep them away. I'm not going to just hammer it and push it. But if things pop up, we'll take it case by case. But there's no pressure there. If they one day say, hey, Daddy, I want to do this, I'll let them do it. I know my son, we did a Father's Day gig maybe like a year ago. And since then, every time I leave, he's like, "Daddy, I want to work with you. I want to work."
So he liked it.
Oh, he loved it. He loved it. I was worried. We were worried at first, like, oh, I don't know what he's gonna do when he get on set. And he ate it up. You know, he listened. I'm like, okay.
Oh, that because I've been on set with little kids a lot too, and some of them they're so shy. I think
Right.
some kids love it; they love being in front of the camera, and then some are so shy. So that's really cool that he liked it.
Yeah, he did. He loved it. So that was an awesome moment for us.
Cool. So is there any way that like you feel like the pandemic has changed y'all? Like, or is there anything? Are you different now? Is there any lesson that you've learned from the pandemic, from the time alone, that you'll take forward?
Oh, it's definitely changed me in my perspective. Just being so busy with modeling, and I'm thinking, that's all you do. It's definitely opened my eyes up to other streams of income.
Right.
But also just like I said, simplifying my life, putting what's important first. Because a lot of people, you can get lost in the club or fake friends, and we drink together. And you think those are the things that are fulfilling. And now that all this stuff has been stripped away, it's like, no. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about family, it's about love, it's about real relationships where you can grow with people, and so that's what it's been about for me. So just open my eyes to that, and just that we're not in control. Something like this happens, it's like just crazy. I was in disbelief, as I'm sure most people were.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, I think that's one of the things that's hard for people who are really, maybe more type A, like they're in control of their lives, everything's planned out. I think this has probably been hard for those people, especially because you can't plan out the future. We don't know what the future holds. You kind of
exactly.
had to just release your grip on, controlling your life. And I think I think, like you said, it's a good lesson, just
Yeah,
you got to sometimes you just got to give it up and say
yeah,
things will work out and it'll all be okay.
yeah. No, I'm grounded in my faith. I put it in God's hands, so I don't have to worry about it. Just take
That's
it.
amazing that you have that too. So you haven't been able to go to church during quarantine? Do y'all worship online, or do you just kind of do your own thing at your house? Or
And now my church has an online service, so we'll watch that, and have our own our home rituals and whatnot. But it's been interesting. I mean, I wasn't always in church. I found a really dope church since I've been back here, and so as soon as we were getting in the groove of things, then everything shut down. But it's been cool that they've done a good job of staying connected. Doing online stuff, just conversations, little small connect groups, and just to hold
cool.
each other accountable and just check on one another. So it's been dope.
So you've been able to keep that alive during quarantine without going into the church.
Yeah, and I think this is more than ever. Like, this is when we need it. You need
Totally.
your faith, because there's so much unknown. People don't like to talk about it. I'm not like a super religious person or anything like that, but
No, I mean, I think whether you're religious or not, I think it's really amazing to have something that helps you. Like, it sounds like, this is something that really keeps you grounded. And
of
whether you're
course,
religious or not, everyone can have something that they rely on that helps keep them. Like, for me, my thing is kind of yoga really helps me stay grounded and centered
yes,
and,
yes,
relaxed. And everyone has their own thing. So I love to hear about yours, and I love to hear about how you've been able to keep your faith alive. I think that's awesome.
yeah, that's cool. I love yoga and meditating. All those things are just so important for our minds, especially being in our business. You know how it is. Have to have a strong mental.
You do. I mean, I feel like we're constantly hearing stuff, critiques on ourselves, whether it's, about our looks or our personalities. It's not an easy industry. So you definitely have to have something that you can go back to keep yourself humbled and grounded.
Right, right.
So do you have anything else that you want to leave us with? Anything like any advice for people if they're struggling in the pandemic with their partner or just on their own?
I mean, with your partner, I would say, everything's a compromise, and it's easier said than done. But you really have to highlight the positive. It's too
Totally.
easy when you're. 'Cause I've been there when me and my wife were stuck in a 700 square foot apartment in Manhattan, and it's like, I just need some space, right?
Hmm.
It's easy for the little negative things you highlight it, then it grows bigger, then something else happens, and just snowball effect. So I think if you set your eyes on the positive aspects of your partner, I feel like there's a snowball in that way as well.
I
Um,
love that advice. Always look for the positive, always look for the silver lining. If you're looking for the negative, things are bound to go wrong.
yes,
That
totally.
is awesome advice.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to join me and chat with me. It looks like from the comments, people really got a lot from your information. So thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And you've been through Georgia. You know where I'm from, so you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's the same there in Tennessee. This heat, gosh. But thank you so much, Andre. I loved hearing about your family and your wife, and thank you so much. And we'll be in touch.
All right, you stay safe, all right?
Thank you so much. Bye.
Peace.
Peace.